The first spinal nerve is C1 nerve. Which part of the skin C1 nerve supplies? C1 nerve does not supply any skin. So C1 nerve has no nerve. C2, C3, C4 supply neck skin. C2, C3, C4. So upper one nerve, middle one nerve, lower one nerve. It will supply by C2, C3 and C4 respectively. The C4 also supplies the shoulder tip. C4 supplies the shoulder tip. Axilla is supplied by T2. Axilla is supplied by second thoracic spinal nerve. Where is the dermatome of C5, C6, C7, C8 and T1? It will be in the upper nerve. But where in the upper nerve? You have to be very specific. Stretch your upward limb laterally at right angles with the thumb pointing upwards. The lateral part of the elbow region, both above and below, will be C5. Thumb is C6. Middle finger is C7. Little finger is C8. And the medial part of the elbow, both above and below, is T1. Incidentally, T1 spinal nerve also supplies the heart. That's why the cardiac pain, besides being on the chest, also radiates to the inner border of the upper limb, generally the left upper. Because the inner border of left upper limb around the region of the elbow is supplied by dermatome T1, which also supplies the heart. Cardiac pain can be projected to the upper limb. Is it clear? And after that, T2 we have already said supply the axillary scale. Sequentially, 1-1 intercostal space will be supplied by 1-1 spinal nerve. The second intercostal space will be supplied by second spinal nerve. T2, T3, T4. How many ribs are there? 12 pairs. How many intercostal space are there? 11 pairs. The intercostal between the ribs. From second intercostal space to 11th intercostal space are sequentially supplied by T2, T3, T4 up to T11. This is in the intercostal space posterior. The T4 nerve also supplies the nipple. T6 nerve supplies the ziphister. T6 nerve supplies the ziphister. T7 to T11 also supplies the anterior abdominal wall. T7 to T11 also supplies the anterior abdominal wall. In the court of law, we usually make a statement. I will speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Similarly, a typical intercostal nerve is that nerve which supplies the intercostal space, the entire intercostal space, and nothing but the intercostal space. Okay, a typical intercostal nerve is the nerve which supplies the intercostal space, the whole space, and nothing but the space. So T7 to T11 spinal nerve are not typical intercostal nerves because they supply the anterior abdominal wall also. T1 we know supplies the upper limb also. T2 and sometimes T2 and T3 together supply the axillary skin. T2 is usually supplying the axillary skin, sometimes T3 also joins it. In which case T2 and T3 are also not typical. When you are asked typical intercostal space, it is only T4, T5 and T6. Because these three nerves supply the third, fourth and fifth intercostal space. Now 4, 5 supply the fourth, fifth and sixth intercostal space, the whole space, I think but the space. T12 is also called as subcostal nerve, and L1. They supply the inguinal region. T12 the upper part, L1 the lower part. Just above and below the inguinal ligaments. S3, S4, S5 and coccygeal supplies the gluteal region. S3, S4, S5 and coccygeal supply the gluteal region. So now the dermatome from L2 to S2, they supply lower limb. L2 to S2. And lower limb, remember, is twisted, rotated medially. So unlike upper limb, where the dermatome have clear areas, lateral to shoulder, lateral to elbow, lateral part of the hand, middle of the hand, medial part of the hand, medial to the elbow, a very classical distribution of the dermatome in upper limb. Now lower limb is not that easy, because the twist which the lower limb is undergone, and the nerves will also be twisted. So understand that the twist is medial. So draw an imaginary line which is at right angles to sartorius, which means you start from upper medial and go lower lateral in the thigh, front of the thigh. Okay, sartorius goes from upper lateral to lower medial. You draw an imaginary line going from upper medial to lower lateral in the front of the thigh. The lateral part is L2, the medial part is L3. Lateral part is L2, the medial part is L3. For the leg, front of the leg, draw a vertical line which is also somewhat equal to the anterior border of tibia, the shin. So you divided the front of the leg into two parts, a medial half and a lateral half. The medial part is L4, the lateral part is L5. Remember the thigh, the upper lateral was L2 and the lower medial was L3. For the leg, medial part is L4, lateral part is L5. We are talking about only the anterior part. Then, as you go to the foot, medial 2/3 is L5, lateral 1/3 is S1. For the foot, medial 2/3 is L5, lateral 1/3 is S1. And the posterior border of the leg, thigh up to gluteal region is S2. The posterior part of the leg and the thigh, including up to gluteal region, is S2. That's why the statement, we stand on our L5S1. We stand on our L5S1. We sit on S234. We stand on L5S1. We sit on S234. S5 oxygen also supply the perianal region. But then you don't sit on the perianal region. You sit on the gluteal region. Okay? Incidentally, that L4 nerve, which we said supplies the medial part of the front of the leg, also extends to the medial border of the foot, but goes only up to the ball of the great toe. Does not supply the L4 nerve, supplies the medial part of the leg and the medial border of the foot up to the ball of the great toe. Incidentally, that nerve is femoral nerve, whose branch, saphenous nerve, supplies all these regions. That femoral nerve, you know, has a root value of L2, 3, 4. The L4 component supplies the skin of the medial part of the leg and up to the medial border of the foot. This was about the dermatomes, the area of the skin supplied by a single spinal nerve. Next we will focus on the muscles supplied by individual spinal nerve. The neck muscles are supplied by C1, C2, C3, C4. C1 did not have a dermatome, but it has a myotome. C1, C2, C3, C4 supplies the muscles of the neck. T1 to T12. T1 to T12 plus L1 supplies the intercostal muscles and the abdominal wall muscles. T1 to T12 and L1 supplies the intercostal muscles and the muscles of the anterior abdominal wall. L2 to S3 supply lower limb. C5 to T1 supplies the upper limb. C5 to T1 supplies the upper limb, of which T1 we have also said supplies the first intercostal space. Now, unlike the dermatome, which are so simple for upper limb, myotomes are that much more complicated. To understand the muscle distribution, the myotome of the upper limb, keep your hand in the functional position, not in a mechanical position. And the functional position is in which you hold up a pen in the upper limb and about to write on the paper. That's the functional position. And the rule states forward movement from the functional position is upper myotome. The backward movement is lower myotome. This is the rule. Forward movement is upper myotome. Backward movement is lower myotome. One rule. Second rule is the proximal muscles are upper myotome, the distal muscles are lower myotome. Proximal muscles are upper myotome, distal muscles are lower myotome. These two rules if you understand, and the fact that you understand the position of Erb's paralysis. What is the position of Erb's paralysis? What is that called? porter still deformity? Or is it waiter still deformity? Or is it policeman still deformity? Well, I have yet to see a policeman accept a bribe in the herbs paralysis position. They demand the bribe directly. Waiters, we don't give tips at all. We just keep it in the counter and that is given as a tip to the waiter. Only the porters are still decent enough to accept the money by the tip deformity position. Because they are loaders of the port. Have already given their own salary. But if your consignment comes, you also give that porter a tip. He will not directly accept the tip. He will keep his hand in the tip deformity position and you have to place the money in his hand. If you understand these three terms, what are the first rule? First rule is that forward movement is upper myotope, backward movement is lower myotope. Proximal muscle is upper myotope, distal muscle lower myotope, and herbs paralysis has got a classical position. Based on these three rules, you can understand the myotopes of upper. Forward movement at the shoulder is abduction of shoulder. From the functional position, abduction is a forward movement. And remember, even in anatomy, flexion is not just forward movement. Flexion is forward and medial. And abduction is forwards and laterally. So from the functional position, forward movement is abduction. This forwards and laterally. Why is this so? Because we are using the plane of scapula. Scapular plane, when the movement is in the scapular plane, it's called abduction. If the movement is at right angles to scapular plane, we call it as flexionization. Okay? So C5 is abduction. C5 is abduction. C6, 7, 8 is adduction. C5 is abduction. C6, 7, 8 is adduction. Which is the strongest adductor of the upper limb? Strongest adductor of the upper. Latissimus dorsi. It's much larger. So it has one great form. And what is the concept of latissimus dorsi? Thoracodorsal nerve. And what is the root value of thoracodorsal nerve? C6, C7, C8. C6, C7, C8. Okay, so that way you can remember that C5 is abduction, C6, 7, 8 is adduction. And what is the root value damage in herbs paralysis? C5 and C6. If C5 is damaged, abduction is totally lost. Because C6 is damaged, adduction is not completely lost. Because adduction is C6, C7 and C8. That's why the shoulder remains in an adapted position. Is this clear? We are not focusing on flexion, extension, rotation, etc. Let's proceed to the next one. Elbow. From the functional position, flexion is a forward movement and extension is a backward. Flexion is C5, C6. Extension is C7, C8. Flexion of elbow is C5, C6. Extension is C7, C8. You would say, the second rule which I said, that proximal muscles are upper myotope, distal muscles are lower myotope, but they are the same myotopes. But look at the distribution. The upper one, shoulder abduction was only C5. Elbow flexion is C5 and C6. That means the proximal. You are going one step down, then one extra step forward or forward. That's why musculocutaneous nerve, which has root value of C5, C6, C7, only the C5 and C6 fibers supply the coracobrachialis, the brachialis, and biceps brachii. Because C7 has no root. Then, what is the C7 fiber of musculocutaneous nerve doing? Only is cutaneous. Musculocutaneous. The cutaneous part is C7, C6, C7, because it supplies the skin or the lateral part of the wrist joint, up to the wrist joint. What is the action of brachioradialis on the elbow joint? Brachioradialis is the flexor of the elbow joint. What is the action of triceps on the elbow joint? Triceps is extension. Both of these muscles are supplied by radial nerve. But the fibers of radial nerve which supply brachioradialis is T5, C6. The fibers of radial nerve which supply triceps is C7, C8. So even the nerve, the radial nerve, which has got all the root values, C5 to D1, C5, C6 fibers supply brachioradialis. C7, C8 fibers supply triceps. That's why some books may have written nerve supply of triceps. And the answer will be radial nerve, bracket within bracket C7, C8. But radial nerve root value C5 to D1. How is the writing C7, C8? The same book. So whereas brachioradialis, nerve supply radial nerve within brackets C5, C6. So it depends on the biotope which spinal segment should supply which muscles. Okay? The next joint that we discuss is a radioulnar joint. From the functional position, it is obvious that supination is the forward movement, pronation is backward. From the functional position, supination is forward movement, pronation is backwards. From the functional position, the position in which you are holding a pen. Pronation and supination both are done by spinal segment C6, C7. But supination is predominantly by C6. Supination is predominantly by C6 and pronation is predominantly by C7. Remember Erb's paralysis? Shoulder is adducted, elbow is extended. You can understand based on the myotomes. What is the position of radioulnar joint? Radioulnar joint is pronated because supination is predominantly C6 and pronation is predominantly C7. In Erb's paralysis, C6 is damaged, C7 is intact. Next joint that we discuss is the wrist joint. Here is the tricky part. You are holding a pen in your hand. Extension of the wrist is forward movement and flexion of the wrist is backward. Hold the hand as if you are writing on a paper. Then you will realize extension is a forward movement, flexion is a backward movement. Movements in the wrist are also controlled by C6, C7, but extension is predominantly by C6 and flexion is by C7. Again, remember the Erb's paralysis? Adduction of shoulder, extension of elbow, pronation of radioulnar, and flexion of wrist. because flexion is predominantly C7. Ulnar nerve is a continuation of medial chord brachial plexus. Medial chord brachial plexus has root value C8 T1. Ulnar nerve, which is a continuation of medial chord, should have root value C8 T1. But ulnar nerve supplies in the forearm flexor carpi alaris. Flexor carpi alaris is a flexor of the wrist. Predominant root value of the flexor of the wrist is C7. Ulnar nerve does not have that root value because it's a continuation of medial chord. So it offers to supply C8. Flexor carpi alaris refuses. No. I am a flexor of the wrist, I cannot accept C8. Allah says, C8 T1 both? No. I want only C7 fibers. So, what Allah now does in anticipation is in the axilla, sometimes in the arm. It borrows a few fibers from lateral cord or medial nerve, the C7 fibers. So most of the time it takes the axilla from the lateral cord itself. Lateral cord has the root value C5, C7, medial cord has the root value C8, T1. Ulnar nerve knows that it requires some C7 fibers. So it borrows a few fibers from lateral cord C7. This nerve is a very slender nerve which passes hides behind the axillary artery and joins the other. So in the dissection, we have all seen the brachial plexus. Did you see those slender fibers which lateral cord has given to the ulnar nerve? It did not. The eyes do not see what the mind does not know. The eyes do not see what the mind does not know. Now you know, but now you have lost the opportunity. What you can do, if you really want to see the branch of the lateral cord joining the ulnar nerve, you must wait for your junior branch to come. And then, if they are dissecting axilla, you can also educate them. And you can also see for yourself branch of the lateral cord joining the ulnar nerve. These are the C7 fibers. So ulnar net result is that it has got a root value of C7, C8, T1. The C7 fibers exclusively for supply flexor carpi alaris. I will say, why go into so much of labor when medial nerve is supplying most of the muscle to forearm? Why can't it give a branch to the flexor carpi alaris also? That solves the job. Why all this rerouting of fibers? But then there is another rule which states any nerve which pierces the muscle must supply the muscle before it pierces it. Any nerve which pierces the muscle must supply the muscles before it pierces it. So, musculoskeletal nerve pierces coracobrachialis, it must supply the coracobrachialis. Flexor, median nerve passes between the two heads of protectores, it must supply the protectores. Radial nerve pierces supinator, it must supply the supinator before it pierces. Ulnar nerve pierces flexor carpi alaris, it must supply flexor carpi alaris. Flexor carpi alaris will refuse to accept any myotome other than C7. That's why I had to borrow the C7 fibers. Next we are going to discuss extrinsic muscles of the hand and intrinsic muscles of the hand. What do you mean by extrinsic muscles of the hand One attachment in forearm, one attachment in hand. And what is the intrinsic muscle of the hand? Both attachments of the hand itself. Extrinsic muscles of the hand are supplied by myotome C8. Extrinsic muscles of the hand are supplied by myotome C8. Intrinsic muscles of the hand are supplied by myotome T1. Intrinsic muscles of the hand are supplied by myotome T1. And this is as per the rules. Proximal muscles, upper myotome. Distal muscles, lower myotome. Right? So now, if we revisit Irv's paralysis, shoulder adapted, elbow extended, radioulnar pronated, wrist flexed. Porter's stick deformity, they can collect the cash and even count the cash. Intrinsic muscles in the hand are not affected. So they know how many currency notes or coins have you placed in it. Okay? That's as far as and that also explains why in your case paralysis you have claw hand. Because extensors of the metacarpophalangeal joint is done by forearm muscle extensor digitorum, and flexion of the interphalangeal joint is done by intrinsic muscles in the hand that are brittle and torsion, which are affected. So unopposed action of metacarpophalangeal extension and failure of extending the interphalangeal joints. So hyperextended metacarpophalangeal, flexed interphalangeal is claw hand. The difference between ulnar nerve claw hand and club case paralysis claw hand is that ulnar nerve does not supply two introshare. Supply all introshare, but does not supply two lumbricals. So in ulnar nerve claw hand, the clawing will be extensive in the little finger and ring finger. Not so much in the middle and index finger. Because those two lumbricals are supplied by median nerve. Whereas when it comes to club case paralysis, T1 is entirely affected, whether it's passing through ulnar nerve or whether it's passing through median nerve. Entire hand will be clawed. So full claw hand is club case. Ulnar claw hand is only medial claw. You clear? Next we proceed to lower limb. Lower limb myotome goes in a very rhythmic sequence. It follows the law, both the laws, what we said. Proximal muscles are upper myotome, distal muscles are lower myotome. Also, forward movement is upper myotome, backward movement is lower myotome. Problem is, different books have given different values for the myotomes of the world. That's the only problem. So now the question is, if the question comes in an MCQ, usually you are not asked, but at PG entrance level you can be asked MCQs for myotomes. In that case, you should follow RJ last. Because all the international exams also do not consider Gray as the Bible. They consider RJ last as the Bible. So whatever is given in RJ last will be the final word when it comes to MCQ. So you will follow that sequence. The lower limb functional position is a standing position. That's the function of the lower limb. So what is the forward movement at hip joint? Forward movement of hip joint is flexion. Flexion of hip L2-3. Flexion of hip L2-3. Extension of hip L4, 5. Flexion of hip, L2, 3. Extension of hip, L4, 5. So remember, hip joint is 2, 3, 4, 5. You will say, which are the extensions of the hip joint? Hamstrings. Hamstrings are the extensions of the hip joint, which are supplied by tibial nerve, which has got L4, L5, no problem. What is the strong extensor of the hip joint? Gluteus maximus, which is supplied by inferior gluteal nerve, L5, S1, S2, of which L5 will supply the extensor fiber of gluteal nerve. S1, S2 will supply the rotatory component. Gluteus maximus is an extensor and lateral rotator. The lateral rotation is by S1, S2, and we don't bother. We are focusing only on the functional movement. Forward movement L2, 3, backward movement L4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Next we proceed to the knee joint. Now forward functional position. What is the forward movement? What is the backward movement? Forward movement is extension. Backward movement is flexion. Forward movement is L3, 4. Extension is L3, 4. Flexion L5, S1. Forward movement is L3, 4. Backward movement is L5, S1. So remember, forward movement extension is done by quadriceps, which is supplied by femoral nerve, which has a root value L2, L3, L4. So out of which L3 and L4 will supply the vasti. But rectus femoris is also a flexor of the hip joint. So rectus femoris is supplied by L2, L3, L4. And the vasti, which are only extensors of the knee joint, it is supplied by only L3, L4 segments. Is this clear? What is the flexor of the knee joint? The predominant flexor of the knee joint are the hamstrings. Hamstring muscles. Hamstring muscles are supplied by tibial part of sciatic nerve, and the short head of biceps femoris is by the common vertebral part of sciatic. And the segment supplying them is L5, S1. But hamstrings are also extensors of the hip joint, which is L4, L5. So hamstring muscles are supplied by L4, L5, S1. L4, L5 because they are extensors of the hip joint, L5, S1 because they are flexors of the knee joint. Short head of biceps femoris does not extend hip joint. So it has got root value of only L5, S1. Adductor magnus hamstring part does not supply knee joint. It does not extend knee joint because it does not cross the knee. So it is purely an extension of the hip joint. Extension of the hip joint is L4, L5. Obturator nerve and tibial part of sciatic nerve do not have a root value beyond obturator nerve does not have a root value beyond L4. So you can't supply the hamstring part of magnus because hamstring part of magnus requires L4, L5. So the hamstring part of adductor magnus is supplied by tibial nerve, which has got the root value of L5, which is required for extending the hip joint 2, 3, 4, 5. Knee joint 3, 4, 5, 1. The next joint that we discuss is the ankle joint. Dorsiflexion is forward movement. Plantar flexion is backward movement. Dorsiflexion of the ankle joint is L4, L5. And the plantar flexion is S1, S2. Dorsal flexion is L4, L5, lateral flexion is S1, S2. So look at the rhythmic movements of hip, knee, ankle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, 1, 2. You getting the point? As you go distally, it goes one segment distally. It might be difficult to remember this way. You should dance to this rhythm. 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, moving the hip. Then knee joint. 3, 4, 5, 1, 3, 4, 5, 1, 3, 4, 5. Then ankle. 4, 5, 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 4, 5, 1. Then you remember this. The first of the dorsiflexor is also inverter. The first of dorsiflexor is also inverter. So inversion is done by root value L4. This is a difference between all the earlier movements. All earlier movements were done by two spinal segments. Inversion is exclusively by L4. L5 S1 is for inversion. L5 S1 is for inversion. Dorsum of the foot is by S2. Dorsum of the foot is by S2. The sole of the foot, like the hand, extrinsic muscles are by S2, intrinsic muscles are by S3. The sole of the foot, the extrinsic muscles are by S2, that is those which are going to the toes are S2, and intrinsic muscles of the sole of the foot is by S3. This is what explains why tibial nerve has a root value L4, 5, S1, 2, 3, and why the common fibular or the common peroneal nerve has a root value of L4, 5, S1, 2, because it does not supply a single muscle of the sole of the foot. So why should it have S3? It does not have S3. It should not have S3. And for tibial level for the S3 component, exclusively meant to supply the intrinsic muscles of the sole of the foot. Last spinal segment, intrinsic muscles. Upper limb, last spinal segment, intrinsic muscles of the sole. Lower limb. Is it clear about this? We said eversion is brought about by L5, S1. Then you should remember predominantly S1. Predominantly S1. But it's okay if you write it L5, S1. Now, let us consider the muscle gastrocnemius soleus, together forming tendocalcaneus, which brings about a strong flexor of the foot. Which spinal segment is supply gastrocnemius soleus? S1, S2. Spinal segment soleus gastrocnemius will be supplied by S1, S2, because ankle plantar flexor is S1, S2. Let us consider the muscle tibialis posterior. Tibialis posterior passes from the dorsum of the leg, passes behind the medial malleolus, and then goes and gets attached to mainly the fibrosity of navicular, but there are also send slips to other tarsal bones except talus. We will not focus on other tarsal bones, we will not focus on except talus. It's predominantly inserted on navicular of the foot. Because it passes behind the medial malleolus, will it be a dorsiflexor of the foot or plantar flexor? Anything which passes behind the medial malleolus is a plantar flexor. Is tibialis posterior an inverter or everter? Inverter. Tibial muscles are inverters, tubular muscles are everters. Is that tibial muscles? So it's an inverter. What is the root value of inversion? L4. What is the root value of plantar flexion? S1, S2. L4, S1, S2. How can a muscle be supplied by multiple spinal segments with the skipping of a segment in between? We understand a single muscle can be supplied by two. There are two myotomes, three myotomes, whatever be the number. So you can't have a skip of a myotome. So it can't be supplied by L4, S1, S2. It has to be supplied by either L4 or S1, S2, or L5 should also be there. Careful biographic evidences have proven tibialis posterior is supplied by spinal segment L4, which means in a living person, tibialis posterior is designed for inversion. And in a living person, it can't plantar flex the foot because it does not have the segments which are required for plantar flexion. This point clear? Why should tibialis posterior ever plantar flex the foot when you have got such strong plantar flexor like soleus, like gastrocnemius, like flexor hallucis longus? These are the three powerful muscles of the back of the leg. In that order: soleus, gastrocnemius, flexor hallucis longus. Three strong plantar flexors of the foot. Why at all do you require tibialis posterior to do the job? It can't do the job. So if you are asked, what is the action of tibialis posterior? The examiners will expect plantar flexion at the ankle joint and inversion of the tarsal joints. And remember last time we discussed about two rules of examination. You must understand that tibialis posterior is a plantar flexor only in a cadaver. Because when you in a cadaver, when you put the tibialis posterior strongly, you find the foot is getting plantar flex. But it does not have a curve to plantar flex. With a living person, it's only an inverter. This point there? Right. So now, if you know, whichever spinal segment is damaged, whichever part of the skin is affected, and whichever muscle groups are affected. In lower limbs, muscle groups are difficult to define. For example, every spinal segment is involved with multiple joints, and each joint, each movement of each joint is supplied by multiple segments. Except inversion, which is exclusively L4. So L4 is damaged, you will be able to make out. Inversion will be lost. But other single spinal segment damage, you will not be able to make out which is affected because they will be slightly affected, weakness, etc. It is difficult to assess in lower limb. So for lower limb, you must study the dermatome thoroughly because dermatomes are largely non-overlapping. Okay? But the dermatomes are twisted, that you must remember. Remember, we spoke about L5 dermatome supplies lateral part of the leg but medial part of the foot. Lateral part of the leg and medial part of the foot. So it runs obliquely from lateral leg to medial foot. The obliquity was very good, but then largely the dermatomes are not overlapping the lower leg. So now, if I say T11 is affected, T11 is affected, spinal segment T11. What does T11 supply? 11th intercostal space and lower part of the anterior abdominal wall. Okay, lower, not the lowest part is T12 and then L1 also. But T11 is slightly above the anterior abdominal wall. The anterior abdominal wall is supplied by T7 to L1. So T11 means lower part. Fine. You also know that the spinal cord in an adult is not as extensive as the vertebral column is. That means the spinal cord level does not match. Spinal cord level does not match with the spinal segment. Vertebral level does not match with the spinal segment. So you have to add some numbers, etc. to get the equation of vertebral body with spinal segment. Are you aware of that equation? Which I have told. We will just revise again. C1 vertebral column matches with C1 spinal segment. C2 vertebrae, C2 segment. C3 vertebrae, C3 segment. C4 vertebrae, C4 segment. So the upper cervical region, the vertebral body, and the spinal segment matches. In the lower cervical vertebrae, to get the spinal segment, you have to add 1. That means C5 vertebrae will match with C6 segment. C6 spinal segment. So you had asked, where is the C5 spinal segment? It means that this between C4 and C5. C4 will match with C4. C5 matches with C6. C5 spinal segment will be in the disc. Disc region. And this formula is only approximate, not very strict hard and fast. For the upper 6 thoracic vertebrae, to get the spinal segment at that level, you add 2. So opposite T3 vertebrae will be T5 segment. Opposite T6 vertebrae will be T8 segment. You add 2. For the next 3 thoracic segments, you have to add 3. That means at T8 spinal segment, at T8 vertebrae, there will be 11 spinal segment. So remember, we discussed the earlier example where what would be the affected area if T11 is damaged, spinal segment is damaged. That time we said lower part of the abdominal segment. But the vertebral damage is actually at T8 level. Or in X-ray, you will find T8 segment of the vertebrae is affected. But unless you know this formula, you never realize if T8 is damaged, why the affected area is lower part of the abdomen? Because umbilicus is supplied by T10. T8 must be above umbilicus. But T11 is below umbilicus. And X-ray, check the X-ray again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. The 8th vertebra affected. Why is the affection of dermatome below the level of umbilicus? But at the 8th vertebrae, the 11th spinal segment is damaged. At the 11th spinal segment is damaged, the 11th dermatomal will be. This is quite clear. So just looking at the X-ray, you should be able to mentally calculate how much should be added to find out the spinal segment, then compare with spinal segment. 75 disc prolapse is the next point that we discussed. 75% of the disc prolapses between L5 and S1. 75% of the intervertebral disc prolapse, which in common English is called as slip disc. Prolapsed intervertebral disc is between L5 and S1. Why not any other words? This is the last disc, L5S1, which bears the weight of the entire body above. Sacrum are fused, so there is no disc in between. So the last disc bears the major brunt of the body weight, and 75% of disc prolapses occurs between L5 and S1. 20% of the disc prolapses between L4 and L5. 20% of the disc prolapses between L4 and L5 vertebral bodies. Why? Because this is bearing the weight of the rest of the body above, except the last disc. So last disc and second last disc are the ones which are commonly prolapsed. They account for 95% of the disc prolapses. 5% is the remaining thing. Don't bother about them. Focus only on prolapses between L4, L5, L5, L5. Now, when the L4, L5 disc prolapses, between L4 and L5 vertebrae, L4 spinal nerve emerges. Between L4 and L5 vertebrae, L4 nerve emerges. Between L5 S1 vertebrae, and 5 nerve emerges, because except in the cervical region, all in the other regions, nerves emerge from below the vertebrae of the same number. But the thing is, disc is at the lower part of the body, and the nerve emerges at the level of radical. So when L4, L5 disc prolapses, L4 nerve is not damaged because it's higher up. Similarly, L5 S1 disc prolapses, it does not affect L5, it affects S1. So L4 by disc prolapse will affect L5 nerve, not L4 nerve, because prolapse of disc occurs usually posterolaterally. So that as the nerve is emerging out, that's the time when the disc will irritate. And L5 S1 disc damage will produce L5 will be spread, S1 nerve will be damaged, irritating. When a nerve is irritated, it sends pain sensation radiating along its dermatome. We said radiating pain along its dermatome. So all pain will start from the back, L5, S1, whatever nerve is, will start from the back and shoot down to the lower limb. Because both the dermatomes, L5, S1, and the lower limb. A shooting pain starting from the back, radiating to the lower limb, is called as sciatica. Shooting pain starting from the back, radiating to the lower limb, is called as sciatica. Because approximately it follows the course of sciatica. Then there is a person complaining of back pain. One of the reasons could be prolapse intervertebral disc. One of them. But we If the place of pain shooting down the lower limb sciatica, that is almost certain that's a nerve getting irritated because of prolapse of the pelvis. To find out which disc is irritated, you do an MRI scan. But why make the MRI scan when you have a good knowledge of anatomy? Ask him, is the pain which is radiating down the lower limb, concentrate on the pain and tell me whether it goes to the great toe or whether it radiates to the little toe. Then he concentrated, yes, it is shooting down to the great toe. L5 nerve toe. L5 spinal. If it says that the pain is going in the lateral border of the foot, to the little toe, S1 doesn't. So even before the MRI is done, you already got the knowledge of which disc is herniated. Just to reconfirm, you can get an MRI scan. Not to confirm your diagnosis, you are absolutely correct. To confirm whether the MRI machine is working well. To confirm whether the radiologist reports whether it is correct or not. Believe it or not, I have seen radiology reports where the damage was between vertebral column C4 and C5. Vertebral column C4 and C5. And the radiologist wrote damage spinal nerve is C4. Damage spinal nerve is C4 because in most of the places now nerve is below the vertebra. But in cervical disease after above the vertebra, the C4, C5 segment damage should affect the C5 nerve. So that's a nerve which was below C4, above C5. The patient came with inability to abduct the shoulder. The radiologist said damage nerve is C4. Not thinking, is it prefix brachial plexus? Prefix brachial plexus, C4 to T1, instead of C5 to T1, it's C4 to C8. You start wondering on all those things. It's a pretty rare thing. You know, if you make a rare diagnosis, it will be rarely done. When I looked at the X-ray plate and the arrow was pointing to the space between C4 and C5, so I know it's a C5 nerve which is going to put there. And C5 nerve is the only segment which causes the abduction in the shoulder. When you see abduction in the shoulder, it will be lost. Because the nerve damage is C5. So why do you do an MRI or X-ray? To confirm whether the radiologist's diagnosis is correct or not. The next component that we will discuss is upper motor neuron lesion, lower motor neuron lesion. Upper motor neuron are starting from the cerebral cortex and terminates in the gray matter of the spinal cord. It terminates on the anterior horn of the gray matter, because from the anterior horn of the gray matter will start the lower motor neuron. This complex of upper motor neuron, lower motor neuron is for voluntary activities. Lower motor neuron is also supplied by extrapyramidal tracts. These corticospinal tracts are called as pyramidal tracts. Lower motor neuron is also supplied by extrapyramidal tracts, those tracts not starting from cortex. And lower motor neuron is also supplied by the reflex spinal arc When you stretch the muscle, the reflex spinal arc, which is called as deep reflexes, tendon reflexes, or spinal reflexes. This arc of reflexes are also supplying the lower motor neuron. So whether the input is for voluntary activities from pyramidal tracts, muscle tone or extrapyramidal tract, muscle reflexes by the spinal arc. All three, the output is by a single neuron, lower motor neuron, which goes and supplies the muscle. So lower motor neuron is called as the final common pathway. Final common pathway to supply the muscles. Whether the input comes from pyramidal tract, whether the input comes from extrapyramidal tract, or whether the input comes from the spinal reflexes, deep tendon reflexes. Is it clear? Which is why in an upper motor neuron damage, only the voluntary activities will be lost. The reflexes and tendon will actually increase, exacerbate. So now the influential role of the pyramidal tracts is gone. In contrast, if the lower motor neuron is damaged, voluntary activities will go, involuntary muscle tone will also go, the reflexes will also be lost. Deep tendon reflexes will also be lost. So lower motor neuron damage, tone is gone, reflexes are gone, and voluntary activity is also gone. The muscle will almost die because the nutrition of the muscle, although it supplies the blood vessels, the nutrition of the muscle is based on the muscle contracting and relaxing. If the muscle does not contract and relax, the intramuscular circulation will not occur if the muscle does not contract and relax. If the intramuscular circulation is gone, the muscle will die. And the dying muscle will show twitches. These twitches, which are visible, are of muscle fascicle, which is that's why called as fasciculation. And it can, invisible twitchings, which are at a microscopic level, are of individual muscle fibers, which are called as fibrillation. So fasciculation and fibrillation are the signs and symptoms of muscle death, which happens in lower motor neuron damage. This point there, now we know which spinal part is affected, which lower motor neuron will die. In contrast, there is something called as superficial reflexes. Superficial reflexes are polysynaptic reflexes, which requires an intact pyramidal tract. So if the pyramidal tract is damaged, superficial reflexes are lost, but the deep tendon reflexes are exaggerated. Superficial reflexes require an intact corticospinal. One of the superficial reflex is called as flantar reflex. What is flantar reflex? You stroke the skin on the lateral border of the sole. You stroke the skin on the lateral border of the sole. The toes will flex. Toes will flex as if trying to hold the ground. When the lateral border of the neck is touching, when you stroke that area, that's the part which touches the ground. So the toes will try to grasp the ground. This is called as flantar reflex. But it also requires an intact corticospinal tract. If the corticospinal tract is damaged, the great toe will dorsiflex and the other toes will abduct. The great toe will dorsiflex, the other toe will abduct, which is called as fanning out of the toes. Great toe dorsiflexes, other toes abduct, fanning out of the toes. This opposite reaction of plantar reflex was described by a scientist called as Babinski. This is called as the Babinski response. When you are attempting to stroke the lateral part of the foot, instead of the toes flexing, the great toe is abducting and the great toe is extending, other toes are abducting. Babinski response. This implies the pyramidal tract is not working. 3 reasons. 1, the pyramidal tract is damaged. Second, the pyramidal tract has not yet matured in a child below 1 year. Pyramidal tracts have not matured. Child can't walk. If you stroke the skin of the leg, it will show a Babinski response because pyramidal tracts are not matured. Third, the pyramidal tracts are resting. Resting? Yes. Happens also when a person is in deep sleep. When a person is in deep sleep, the pyramidal tracts are resting because now there is no voluntary activity. And sometimes you attempt to perform a plantar response in a person who is in deep sleep. In the shallow sleep, he will wake up. In deep sleep, you stroke the skin of the soul and you will find a Babinski response. Don't assume that his pyramidal tracts are gone. Okay? There are 3 reasons why you can have a Babinski response. Babinski response is a polysynaptic reflex which requires the input of an intact working pyramidal tract. This is about upper vertebral versus lower vertebral. Some of the lesions of the spinal cord, one of the lesions which I discussed is poliomyelitis. Poliomyelitis. Myelin is another word for spinal cord. So myelitis is inflammation of spinal cord. What does the word polio mean? Polio, P-O-L-I-O. Polio means G-R-E-Y. The virus which affects the grey matter of the spinal cord is called poliovirus. Virus is not grey in color, but it affects the grey matter of the spinal cord, sometimes in the middle also. So grey matter of the spinal cord is damaged, polio by the virus, which is called as polio, because it has an affinity to damage the grey matter. Then poliomyelitis. If it affects the middle of the bone, it is more dangerous because it can cause respiratory failure. So the respiratory sectors lie in the perimeter of middle of the bone of India. If poliovirus affects the middle of the bone, it can result in death. But if it affects the grey matter of the spinal cord, it will cause paralysis of those group of muscles where the grey matter is affected. If it is lower limb, you get lower limb polio. If it affects upper limb, you can get upper limb polio. If it affects C4, it can cause diaphragmatic paralysis and death and blindness. So it can affect any grey matter. Another thing which is of interest in spinal cord is called as Ondine's curse. Ondine's curse. O-N-D-I-N-E. Ondine was a Greek god. His daughter was Ondine. Ondine fell in love with a man. Ondine was a mermaid. She fell down the back. She went to valley. And I said, men are unfaithful. Don't marry, really. Said, no. He has promised his love for me. And he will be true to me. So I never married. And expected one day, he finds her husband sleeping in another room. She got very hurt. And the husband came to know about it. He said, no, remember, what was the promise I told you? I will remain faithful to you till my last wakeful breath. Wakeful breath. I am going to be sleeping with her. She was not impressed. She went to her father. I already told you, but see, you hurt my daughter and your all muscles get completely paralyzed. She begged for forgiveness. You were already soft-hearted. He said, please don't paralyze all your muscles. So Conrad asked, okay, there are two types of muscle activities. One is called as automatic activity, the other is called as voluntary activity. One of them has to move because I already trust you. Which one do you want to spare? So automatic activity, voluntary activity. Please spare the voluntary activity. Please I will be able to do what I want. Okay, so be it. And then what happened? He could perform voluntary activities normally, which means even he had to breathe voluntarily. If he forgets breathing, he survived for 48 hours without sleep. Then out of sheer exhaustion, he fell asleep and died. He realized automatic activities are more important for survival than voluntary activities. This is right here. This is called as compliance curves, where voluntary activities persist, but automatic activities go on. Let's try to understand why this happens. At spinal level, people with intractable pain during cancer. Cancer can be anywhere. The pain, even in abdomen. The pain fibers have to travel through spinal cord before the pain can be appreciated. And we know that the pain passes through the spinal collective tract, especially the lateral spinal collective tract, which is in the lateral column. But in the lateral column also lies corticospinal tract, which are for voluntary activity. So, in intractable pain, which is not curable by drugs, what they tried was cutting off the lateral spinal tract surgically on both sides, of course. But you have to spare corticospinal tracts because they are voluntary. Luckily, the spinal cord is divided into anterior half and posterior half by a pile extension called as ligament reticulatum, which runs from the side of the spinal cord to the dura mater. This pile extension, ligament reticulatum, divides the spinal cord into anterior half and posterior half. Corticospinal tract lies in the posterior half. Lateral spinal column tract lies in the anterior half. So as long as you cut the tracts in the anterior half of spinal cord, corticospinal tracts will not go. But deeper to the spinal column tract, immediately deeper to the spinal column tracts, lies the medullary reticulospinal tract, which is meant for automatic activities like breathing. Not heart, because heart has got a stereo into blood. heart is not so different. Respiratory muscles are by the middle vertebrals. If you cut the lateral spinal tract a little too deeply, you will cut the middle vertebrals. And you cut the middle vertebrals on both sides. Automatic activities will go. You are cursed by the undying's curse. Of course, far easier for undying's curse to occur is if the polio virus goes and affects the respiratory centers. That's simple. And the middle of government it goes and affects the it will make similar activities because respiratory tracts are different, reticular respiratory centers are different. Both control the diaphragm, both control the intercostal muscles. But breathing is mostly automatic unless you try to superimpose the voluntary breathing. Voluntary activities will persist. Automatic activities will stop. For such a person, you have to keep it on an artificial ventilator. But if the ventilator battery dies off, the second story is about paralysis of limb muscles. If both lower limbs are affected, it is called as paraplegia. If both upper limbs are affected, it is called diplegia. Paraplegia is for lower limb affection, diplegia is for both upper limb affection. We don't get a condition usually of diplegia. Paraplegia is very common because anywhere the spinal cord is affected, below brachial plexus and above lumbar plexus, lower limb will be paralyzed. Right? Diplegia to occur without lower limb affection is difficult. If upper limbs are affected and lower limbs are also affected, then it is called as quadriplegia. This will happen if the damage is above the origin start of brachial plexus. But for the person to survive, it must be below the level of phrenic nerve which supplies that. Phrenic nerve has a root value C3, C4, C5, mainly C4. If the spinal cord is damaged, just above C4, then the medullary fibers reaching C4 will be lost. So the person dies of respiratory arrest. If the damage is below C4, medulla to C4 is intact, C4 to diaphragm is intact, you can at least breathe, although you have quadriplegia. Christopher Reeve, the person who acted in the first movie on Superman, very good fly in this movie, I think that was shown, died after having an accident in the movie set, which rendered him quadriplegic. He could breathe, but all four limbs paralyzed. Now you know where the issue is. It was below C4 swansea and immediately below swansea. Too much below his upper limb is bad. But upper limb was also bad. He was in a wheelchair for the later part of his life and then died. Died and waiting also, right? That was the same movie for the wheelchair and for the and he was coming back to if the one upper limb, one-sided upper limb and lower limb both get damaged, it is called as hemiplegia. If upper limb or say the right side, the lower limb the right side, both are affected, it is called as hemiplegia. One thought, what will be the condition called if you want enough upper limb paralyzed and right lower limb paralyzed? Such patients were referred to psychiatry. How can you have a neurological problem left abdomen with right lower, and right abdomen is okay, left lower is also okay. That is what was formed. That you can't have one upper limb and opposite lower limb to be affected. And that was a wrong notion. Corticospinal tracts cross at the basilospinal junction. Basilospinal junction. There also, the crossing of upper limb fibers are above, the lower limb fibers are below. What is the basilospinal junction? Upper basilospinal junction is the upper limb crossing. The lower basilospinal junction is lower limb crossing. So regions around coronal factor where the medulla continuous spine cord. If that sacral medulla itself, if that part is affected by meningioma or some such pressure, you can have a strategically placed meningioma which damages the already crossed upper limb fibers and yet to cross lower limb fibers. Already crossed upper limb fibers and yet to cross the lower limb fibers. The pressure is of that nature. You have one upper limb and opposite lower limb fibers. It's called as crossed diplegia. Crossed diplegia. So far what we are talking is paralysis of vagus-spinal cord. In the next class on Saturday, we discuss four-limb paralysis, two-limb paralysis, whatever paralysis, but will be involved of brain stem. Okay? Can you stop there? You can give your attendance and then proceed your prosection basis. And the prosection will continue till 12:15. Afterwards you will be given break. Practicals for CNA batch. Started 1. And so